Right. So my name is Nick, and exactly 1 year ago to this day, on May 2nd, 2025, I started my website agency. And I wanted to make this video just to kind of summarize the last year, my first year in business, encapsulate all that I've achieved and all that I've overcome, and also discuss where I'm headed and what the vision is for the next year in business running this website agency. All right. For those who are new, my name is Nicholas Ali, and I run a website agency called Adeli Web Solutions. I am based in Trinidad and Tobago, which is a island in the Caribbean, and we build websites for home service businesses, ideally HVAC companies and auto repair companies, contractors, plumbers, people like that. So yeah, a year ago, May 2nd, 2025, I was 23 years old. At that time, like years even before then, I had the idea of starting a business, and I got this idea from like most people looking at YouTube videos, right? So I was on YouTube. I kept seeing these videos like SMMA videos, guys who are offering like services like paid ads and other services to local businesses. And I mean, they were saying that hey, you can get like in like 3, 5, 10K per month just offering these services, helping local businesses, and that could be a way to have your own business and not work a 9 to 5 job. And I binge watch like dozens of videos like that, over like months. And I always had like the aim to start my own business because I realized that I didn't like working a 9 to 5 job. Even to this day, the longest I've ever stayed at a 9 to 5 is 7 months. So I haven't even made a year at a 9 to 5 job. And I always felt like, when I was there, I always felt like, damn, I'm waking up every day. I'm going to a job that I don't care about, one that, can't properly like sustain me. And I felt like kind of stuck every time I got a job. And when you're unemployed, you're like, damn, I need a job right now. I need to make some money. But when you're in the job, you're like, damn, I need to get out of this job. I hate it. I need to find something else. So there's that little dichotomy there. But thankfully, I looked at these YouTube videos and I saw a life that could possibly be for me, a life where I could earn money and still have freedom. All right, so back in like the year 2022, this is around the time where I discovered SMMA and how to make money online. I was working at a call center called iCall, and it's like BPO that they do. It's a BPO like company, and so I worked there for a couple of months. I had planned to save up and buy a computer, and I did that. And my goal was to just get started, like trying to hire media buyers and try to get my first few clients. And to be honest, at that time, I was like 21 years old. I had no sales experience. I didn't even know how to like actually get it started. But I figured let me try to hire a media buyer or get in touch with someone who can do these services, and I would try and get the clients. Um, that didn't go very well. Like for a week, I put out a free LinkedIn like ad for hiring media buyers across the world. I interviewed a couple of people all over the world, and yeah, it didn't pan out. I didn't end up hiring anyone because I didn't know what to look for. I don't even think I understood these services properly that I wanted them to, carry out. And as I said, I had no sales experience, so even getting customers or getting the confidence to call up someone and say, hey, I could render these services to you, I can get this and this done for you, and you can expect this result. I didn't have that in me at that time. So and there were other like things going on in my life that kind of distracted me. I allowed myself to be distracted, people, situations and stuff, and I didn't actually ended up doing that, I kind of like that kind of just fizzled out. I went from that I went for that call center job. I quit in like January 2023. Then I got a job a few months later as a teacher, actually, just for a couple of months, a short term. And I mean, yeah, I was feeling good. I was making a bit more money, and I was feeling a little good. But after that, the period of the job, because it was only 4 months, it ended, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea what I was going to do. So, um, the dean or the how to say it, the campus manager actually offered me to get into a program for free, doing like AC, right? Learning about how to fix ACs and stuff like that. So I did that because I had nothing else going on. I mean, at that time I would have been like looking for a job, but I said, you know what? Let me just take a month. Let me just do this course and let me see what I can get after that. So I did that course, and it wasn't really structured well. Like, it was done by the government. So the government paid for the tuition of every student for this 1 month course. And how like this trade school operated, they really just cared about the money. They didn't care about the students whatsoever. So they took the money from the government. The rest of that month, we waited for like supplies, we waited for PPE and all of that. And we learned some stuff because the instructor, um, which was the AC instructor, who was actually my colleague a month or 2 months ago, he was actually the teacher now, teaching us this, and he actually did teach me a lot. So I know a few things about, like, repairing ACs and how to clean an AC and that sort of basic rudimentary stuff in that field, but there was no real substance to it. To this day, I don't even have a certificate, and I honestly don't really care about it that much. But after this like course ended, um, I got a email from I got an email from a telecommunication company called Amplia. So Amplia was hiring field sales agents, and I mean, I opened the email. I believe I got a I believe I got a call first, actually. Answered the call, then the HR lady sent the email. Yeah, that is how it happened, I believe. And then I did everything I could just to make sure I got that job. And the thing is, when I am going to that job, the mindset I had was, hey, I don't have nothing else going for me. I saw like a bunch of Alex Hormozy videos, during that year. And I was like, you know what? This guy said sales is something that could change your life. It's a skill that is worth building. Let me just put my all into this, show up, do my best, and see what I can do. And that's what I did. So the first month, it was really training. We had 2 weeks of training while in the office, and then we had 2 weeks of going out on the field and seeing how many sales we can get. And bro, in the office, in the training, I did really well. It went swimmingly. But when I went into the field, that's when reality hit. And brother, I got no sales. The only person that did sign up was a lady, um, was a police officer, or I think her husband was a police officer, something like that. And we was selling like security systems for their home. So she was kind of, interested in it. But I didn't even get her to purchase the product. So it wasn't technically a sale. And I was so despondent. I was distraught. I was like, damn, how am I gonna like make this, skill of mine become good at it and earn more money if I can't even get a customer? I'll get someone to pay me or sign someone up. And I mean, I didn't give up. I looked at the more experienced people in my team, people who had like 3, 5 years already in sales from other jobs, and I kind of shadowed them. So I worked with them. So this one guy, I just walked with him on the field, and I kind of learned, a few things to say that might get people to sign up. Ways to like act, behave around them, and finally, I actually started getting people to sign up. Um, And yeah, people did. So, like in the second month, second, third month of working at this company, I actually started doing really well, and I became one of the agents that was signing up the most amount of people. And it was really good because, and it felt really good to do that because, to fail and keep failing over and over again, and, trying to change and adapt, and finally seeing some form of success was actually, it just felt really good. And yeah, those are like, that is like one of the best feelings I've ever felt in my life. But anyways, just to fast forward, I worked that job for 7 months. I quit, I think in July 2020, July 2024. I quit that job because, my idea was to get into insurance. I felt like I could make more money there. But one thing with me is I have a big ego. So after a while working there, I kept doing well. Um, I earned like 9K 1 month with commissions and salary. And I felt like I was on top of the world. I can do anything. I can go anywhere. And I'm gonna tell you this. This is part of most young men's like character arc or story arc. You're going to be humbled. Life is gonna humble you, right? If you have a big ego, that is. And man, I was humbled, so I quit. I reached out to like insurance companies, and I had interviews and stuff. Had an interview with Sagicor, um, and I went there. I did their project 200 is what they called it, um, for them to kind of qualify you to come work for them. But that was fully commission based, and in the back of my mind, I always had the idea to create a business. So I was really not interested in insurance, but I was interested in the story that they give you. Hey, when you work in insurance, you win a lot of money, this, that, the other. That is what I bought into. I didn't really want to work in insurance. I didn't care about it, honestly. Um, so I quit that opportunity. I told the guy, you know what, not interested. Um, and then in the next few months, bro, I was lost. I was so lost. I I spent that time like applying to jobs online, and I also like tried to like start. I had thoughts of starting a business, but as I said, I didn't really know where to start, what to offer, what to do. Um, so yeah, I just wasted a couple months. Time went by applying for jobs, unemployed, and I got hired by like a really good company, an electrical manufacturing company. And this was actually the break that I was looking for years before when I did. So I had did like a diploma in electrical, um, you know, electrical. What do you call it? To become an electrical technician in like those industrial plants. I did a diploma for something like that. And I did really well on the interview because of my sales skills, not only because I did well in the course and I had a diploma and I did well in school there. That was part of it. But my sales skills and my energy, like that was the thing that cemented it. And I got the job, and the salary was good. The position was comfortable. Um, it wasn't too far from where I lived, but bro, I hated that job. I stayed at that job for like 1 week and like a few days, and I just quit. I told the guy, hey man, thank you for the opportunity. I don't like this job. Um, I'm, I quit, and I did that like in the second week. I quit, and I felt like, damn, what the hell did I just do? Because for months I was looking for a job that I was qualified for and that had a decent salary. Bro, and this job, it wasn't the best salary, but it was better than almost all the other offers I got, and the incentives and benefits were good. Provided I did well in the provisional period and got a job permanently, it would have been a comfortable living. But I quit in the second week, and I kind of felt like, damn, how could I like want something so bad? Then when I get it, I just throw it away. And I kind of regretted it for a while. But what I did was I figured, you know what? I'm young, I'm in my early 20s. Let me just do what I actually want to do. Right? And I think this is around the time where I actually took a chance. So what I did was I started calling local businesses. I mean, I called all types of companies, and I told them, hey, I want to run paid ads for you, this, that, the other. Of course, I didn't go about it the right way. I didn't know the right things to say and stuff, but at least I did something right to get me to where I wanted to be. And right, so this is 2024. Um, Not much happened for the rest of that year. So in October is where I quit the job that I got, and I mean I took some other like jobs, quit them within the first day. Like one or two other jobs, quit them within the first day, and 2025 now I was like, you know what? I'm tired of just going year in year out, not like achieving my potential, not do anything that I actually want to do, which is just, you know, building like a company of my own. And so I made the goal that, you know what, this is the year, 2025 is the year that I'm gonna actually go for it. You know, I'm actually gonna create that business that I wanted to. I'm actually gonna start earning money online. And I mean, I hated nothing is wrong with a 9 to 5 job, by the way, right? But I mean, I hated the idea. I hated how I felt while going to a job every single day. And I figured, you know what, this isn't for me. So let me do all I could, start making my own money so that I could get the freedom that I really want. And what I did was I I actually took a job back at that same call center. And remember, I told you that part of every man's life, especially in his early 20s, is that character arc, the story arc. You must get humbled. I got humbled again because I took that job. I went back there. This time I was older. I was more experienced, sure, in like sales. But bro, I was broke. I was older, and I was back where I was like 3 years ago. And I felt humble. I was like, damn, this is this can't be like my life, this is crazy. And I went there, and what they do is they train you for like a week, 2 weeks before you actually like start on the phones, start answering calls and stuff. And I spent that 2 week period there training, and really I was actually looking for other jobs at the same time because you realize this thing with me, right? I'm just hopping from job to job because I hate how it feels to be at a job. Um, but yeah, I was looking for other jobs, sales jobs, because I know obviously sales pays better and I have some sales skills. So yeah, I did that. I just kept looking for jobs. I went to 2 interviews. One was like a government community job. Um, I didn't do well in that, I'll be honest. Um, didn't get a job. I never got a call back, anyways. But I did an interview for a sales job on the same street as the call center job, the ICO job. I went to that sales interview and I did well, right? I did well. My personality came through. I answered all the questions well, and I mean, the salary was better than the one at ICO. So I took that job. Um, well, yeah, they reached out like a few days later saying, hey, we like you, and they offered me the job, and I accepted, and then I quit the ICO job not too long after. Well, actually, like a day or two um, after I signed up for the sales job. When I quit and I left, and I was like, you know what? Let me just save my money this time. Let me be smart. Let me actually spend my money into the business that I want to start. And what I did was on May 2nd, 2025, I I started my business, and all I needed to do was actually get the card to pay for GHL to start my business. So I went to this bank that was literally walking, excuse me, I went to this bank that was literally walking distance from where the sales job was, and I signed up. This was like the second time I went there, or second, yeah, day that I went to sign up there, but I got the card that day, and yeah, I went home. I didn't sign up for GHL directly. There's this guy called Hamza Beg. He has a licensed version of GHL where he offers it for like $97 a month. So um and I had a discount too. So there was like a slight discount. So I got it for $87 USD, 87 USD per month. And I just literally paid for it. I I got onboarded, I learned a few things about GHL and how to create websites and stuff. I set up like my email, my Google Workspace, and all of that stuff. And I felt like for the first time in years, and really for the first time in my life, that I'm actually doing something that I want to do. And that was like a day that, I'll always remember because just being in the bank, sitting there, knowing that I'm like kind of like broke and I'm trying to accomplish a dream. I'm trying to accomplish a dream that I don't even know would work out, but I'm still doing it anyways. I'm still trying to put things in place to get there. It was like, damn, hopefully this thing works out. And so far it kind of has, right? So in those couple like first few months, what I did was every Saturday, because I still had a job. I was working Monday to Friday. On Saturdays, I would go to like a savannah near where I live, kind of. It's actually kind of far if you walk, but it's in the city that I live in, and I went there. It was kind of deserted, um, kind of run down, I'll be honest. But I sat in the pavilions and I just cold called like 50 businesses, 50, yeah, like 50 businesses every Saturday, or from 0 to 50 businesses I call every Saturday, right? And I called to the point where I called like 120 of them, and I basically said, hey, um, I've just started like a company, just looking to see, get information on what you would pay for like a website. If you would prefer to pay like a one-time fee or pay a small one-time or pay a small monthly fee. I kind of did like research basically and got their feedback. And I did that actually. I did that actually before I got the card, I believe. So in the weeks leading up to getting the card is when I did those calls, and when I actually did got the card, signed up for Hexona, and had the capability of building sites and stuff and offering those services to businesses. That is where I called back some of the people that were interested, and I said, hey, I started the business. Um, this is what we are charging monthly for the website. I think it was like 200 TT per month, something like that. And yeah, I signed up a client. She was an event planner. I signed up another client like probably a week later who was a landscaper, and I was the happiest guy in the world. Like I was so enthusiastic. I was like, damn, let me just. And by the way, I was crap at building these sites. I was legit crap. I would take like a template in that particular like industry. So find an events planner template, find a landscaping template, and I'll just put their information on the site. And it didn't look the best, but templates kind of did a lot. um, but it didn't look the best. But those guys actually, I guess they took a chance on me, And funnily enough, those customers are actually my clients today, still, like a year after, which is kind of crazy. Um, but yeah, and what I did was I did those calls for a while. I tried running TikTok ads, got a couple of clients from TikTok ads, and I did keep up the calls and stuff. And over like the next 4 months, so from May to May to July, I really did a lot to yeah, just get clients for my business. And I did slowly but surely. I got more clients. I had all kind of like services I wanted to offer. So it wasn't just websites. I kind of ran all sorts of stuff like offering reputation management, but at different pricing. I I didn't have a particular niche. I just tried to sell to everyone. I didn't have a particular outreach method. I just tried everything. And if I were to do it again, like from the start, that is the one thing I would change. I would have a specific offer for a specific audience and just use one outreach method. So, for example, if I started again today, I would start cold calls to contractors, HVAC contractors, and I would just do 100 calls every single day. until I got my first 5 clients, right? Or until I started earning like at least 3K per month, I should say, where I could then run ads. But at the time, I mean, I was so distracted. Basically, I was doing all kind of things, giving all kind of different offers to different businesses, bro. And I mean, I actually still got a few good new customers out of it. So I sold this one AC company, um, reputation management. I said, you know what? Uh, I gave them like some offers. Like I said, if you want to do a 4 month campaign, a 6 month campaign, or you just want to pay monthly, these are the prices accordingly. And they took the 6 month campaign and they paid me 1,500 TTD per month, which was crazy. I mean, all my clients at the time were paying me like 250, 275, and I got a client to pay me. I actually got them to pay me a setup fee of 2 grand, $2,000, and then they paid me 1,500 monthly. They did that for the next 6 months, and bro, that was awesome. Like that actually helped me a lot, not just financially, but with the confidence. Like, damn, if I could get someone to pay me this amount, I mean, the world is mine, you know. I mean, the sky's the limit. I can do anything from here. And I mean, most of my clients from them, I mean, I charge them around the 300 mark. Yes, I would get clients that paid like, let's say 750 a month, 650, that sort of thing. But those clients never like down. They didn't stay long. They only stayed like 1 month and they fizzled after that. They quit after that. So that sweet spot was really the 297 per month. 275, 297 per month. Um, but yeah, um, I reached the point where I was, you know what? I had like, I think 12 to 15 clients, something like that at that time. And I was like, you know what? I'm making the same as my 9 to 5 job. Let me just quit this job and go all in on this business so that, I mean, later on in life, when I reach 80, 90 years old, I can say I actually did it. You know, I went out there and I gave it my all and I tried. And I quit that job, bro. I quit that job in August 2025. And even like the weeks leading up before the job, I wasn't even doing the job properly. I was reaching late to work. I wasn't following up with, leads. It was like a total shit show. So I was already not focusing on the job that I had, but more focusing on the business that I wanted to build. So I said, you know what? Let me don't do the let me don't do this to the guys. I mean, they gave me the opportunity, but I'm not taking it fully, taking advantage of it fully. Let me quit the job and focus on what I really wanted to do. So I quit in August 2025 and I went all in. And one thing I'd say for anyone that has a dream or a goal that they really wanna accomplish, don't tell anyone anything about what you want to do, because most people, especially like most people in life, they don't want to see you change, right? And especially if you're an ambitious person. Um, and I didn't even know I was. I mean, I knew I was ambitious, but I didn't know what ambition I had, and to find something that I wanted to do, which is building a website, SaaS agency. I mean, that kind of lit a fire under me. And I mean, since I started the business in May till like August 2025, I had the most enthusiasm you can think of. I was really enthusiastic. I wasn't the most disciplined, but I felt really good about what I was doing. I was excited to get up and get to work and, you know, see what I was creating come to life. Um, and yes, as I said, don't tell anyone what you want to do or what you're aspiring to, because most people don't want you to change, and they don't want to see someone do better than them. And so this is what happened, right? My birthday is in September 1st. Um, for my birthday, my dad, who I don't really have the best relationship with that guy, but he invited me to his home that he had built like a year ago or a year or two previously. And I went the week of my birthday. I went there and stayed with him for like a weekend. And I told him, um, but he asked me, hey, so what are you doing now? And I told him, hey, I quit my job. I'm going all in into this business. And This guy was like livid. This guy was like angry, and he was saying, "Why are you gonna do this? Um, you wanna gain $1 million and then lose your life because we live in Trinidad. Trinidad could be dangerous at times. Um, a lot of business owners are like targeted and stuff. But he was like, yes, why are you gonna start a business? What sense does it make to earn like millions and then lose your life or something like that?" And he was like, "You're gonna do this hustle thing, leave that for people like me." You know? Bro, and this guy basically tried to do everything he could to dissuade me from running a business. And mind you, at that time I was already making the same as if not a little bit more than what I did at my 9 to 5. So I was sitting there and I was like, and we were like looking at TV in the living room. I was like, what is this guy talking about in my mind? I mean, and I even told him I'm already making like the same as my 9 to 5, but he just kept talking. He was trying to do whatever he could, say whatever he could to dissuade me from, doing this business. Um, Guy told me about, hey, you can go and be a police officer, you can do this. Mind you, just to like give some context, right? I'm a kid that did really well in school. Even though I didn't choose to go to college or anything, I did really well in school. I could literally like go to college right now, study anything, like engineering, I could study medicine, I could study to become a lawyer, and I could achieve it like no problem, right? I mean, at least that is what I think. And I mean, based on my schooling, it shows that I can basically succeed at anything academically. And so this guy was telling me to become a police officer. So in my mind, I was thinking, police officer, who do you think I am? But also, I was thinking that, damn, he's doing everything he could just so that I could say no and stop doing my business. That's crazy. And I realized that even some of your family, I mean, that was my dad, you know they would see you trying to do better in life and they would bring you down or prevent or try to prevent you from going to achieve great things. Um so I mean, since then I kind of looked at that guy differently. I don't really tell people much of what I do anymore, but I'll be honest, that kind of took out a lot of enthusiasm that I had building my business. And um, from September to, you could say, December, I my efforts were kind of dimmed a bit, but also it was dimmed because I felt like, I mean, this was the first time in my life I ever had something of my own. Bro, my discipline wasn't there. I was waking up late every day. I wasn't following up with leads and stuff. I was, yeah, I was unmotivated, but more importantly, I wasn't disciplined. So, I mean, I kind of coasted for a while. In November, though, 2025, I started running Facebook ads, and I kind of like got like 7 or 8 clients within like those 2 months, like November and December. Really more in December, you could say. And I mean, that was really good because it brought back a lot of the confidence I had. And what I did was I started focusing on like one channel and I kind of niched down. So I was like, you know what? Let me just work with contractors or small service based businesses. Those were like my two um, niches that I chose. And I did that, and I got like 8 new clients. And then in the new year, I ran an ad for contractors. I ran a couple of ads for contractors, and I got like two to four clients, I should say. Not all of them were contractors, but and I had different pricing offers and stuff. It was kind of confusing because, as I said, guys, if you're doing this, if you're starting, if I was starting over again, I would just have one niche, one price, and one outreach channel because it simplifies your entire life, right? There were guys paying me like 400 per month. Then there was a business paying me like 97 US, which is like 650 per month TT, bro. And I mean, the guys that paid 400, they were much smaller business owners. Um, they fizzled out within a month or two. The guy that is paying 97 US, I mean, he's a very big business owner, so he's still paying today. But like honing on that price point, working and trying to get clients in a particular niche and using one or two channel, I mean, it could get you so much further in a short period of time than just trying to do everything for everyone. right? So please don't make that mistake. Please don't. But I mean, I learned from my mistakes, and now in Trinidad, I do try to focus on AC companies alone now, whether it's, they do residential AC, um, commercial, industrial, or auto AC. I try to focus on AC a lot when I'm doing cold outreach, and I've gotten, let's see, one, two, three AC clients so far in like the last 2 months. Um, I ran ads, don't get me wrong, I ran ads and got a few clients out of those ads as well. Those weren't in any particular niche, they were just service based companies that saw my ad on Facebook and were interested. But at this point in time, I'm just focusing on one niche when I'm doing cold outreach. And right now, I've stopped running ads. So I haven't gotten like a lot of clients in the past few weeks simply because, as well, I'm actually trying to do more outreach to the US. You know, I'm doing outreach to the US because I realized right now, at this point, speaking right now, I have 30 TT clients, and that's around 9K TTD per month, right? If I had 30 US clients paying me like the same 9K per month in total, that would be like around $60,000 TTD. So I went a year just focusing on local TT businesses, and I haven't even hit 10K TTD yet. But if I had focused on US businesses, I'm not saying that I would have been, getting 9K per month USD, but I would have been earning a lot more. So that's why I'm focusing now on this next year. I'm only focusing on US businesses, um, and US contractors, particularly in the HVAC niche. Because if I sell this same offer, 297 per month to them, I could give them a ton of value for one, but my profit margins would be a lot higher simply because I'm earning USD in the Caribbean, so you could obviously go a further away. Um, and just to give you an average, so like one TT dollar or one US dollar, sorry, is equal to like 7 TT, right? Or 6.8, it varies based on the day, but it goes out a lot, it goes a lot further in the Caribbean. So that's my goal for the next year, guys. In 2027, maybe second, I'll do another video like this, and I'll talk about how far I've come in that time. Now, I set a lot of like big goals for myself this year in 2026. I don't even know how I'm going to achieve those goals, but I mean, I still have them, So I'm trying to reach my first 10K USD at least by December 2026, and I genuinely think I can do that. Um, because I mean it's the same stuff you're doing just for a different market, right? I'm still gonna do cold calls. Eventually, I'm gonna run ads, and I'm just gonna create a system where it's everything is automated. I only take like the sales calls, for example. I don't need to do service delivery, any of that. And I think I could reach 10K per month by December 2026 if I just be smart and disciplined about it. Um, and that's another thing. To this day, I haven't hired anyone, which is crazy. So those 30 clients that I have right now recurring, I've built all of those websites. I've, set up the reputation or the review automations for them. Um, I do everything by myself, which is, I mean, I should have hired someone like a long, long time ago. But I believe for like the margins that I was making, I wanted to just keep everything for myself. But focusing on US businesses, I'm definitely going to hire persons like VAs, even if it's just project-based VAs to do all of the fulfillment, because that will free up a lot of my time just to focus on outreach and marketing and get more clients. So, yeah, that's my story. It was a bit long-winded, I know, but that's my story. That is my journey so far in entrepreneurship, and that is my goal for the next year. And for anyone that I guess wants or has a goal that they really want to accomplish, especially if it's just, you know, creating a small business or creating a business and making money online, if you have that goal, just go for it. If you do have a ton of responsibilities, like you're on the younger side, um, you just have a few bills to pay every month, and you don't have like a kid, or you don't have big responsibilities, I would say go for it. There's no reason why you can't succeed, because I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not the best speaker. I'm not as fully as articulate as I know I can be. That is something I'm working on. Um, and yet I've amassed 30 recurring clients in a year's time, right? So you can definitely do the same, if not better. And I'd say just believe in yourself and take the risk. It's the best time in your life not to do it, right? There's no better time than the present. And yeah, kind of just aim high, be consistent, be disciplined, be smart about spending your money and investing back into your business, and just do not give up. It doesn't matter what happens. I mean, even if you fail again and again, just keep getting up and trying and learning from your failures and adapting. And yeah, eventually you will succeed. Um, One thing I want to actually point out too is that if you are new to sales and new to whatever business model you do, volume negates luck, as Alex Hormozi says. So take the rule of 100, which is doing 100 like cold calls or sending 100 DMs or SMS per day, and in no time you'll definitely sign at least 1 to 3 clients. You could definitely like do cold calls, 100 cold calls a day, 5 days a week for a month, and you can sign 3 clients. That's not like something unfathomable. Most people can do that. So just do it, put in the work, trust yourself, believe in yourself to accomplish great things, and yeah, you will. All right. So this is my video, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and yeah, let's do all we can within this next year to accomplish all of our greatest dreams and desires, and yeah, achieve the freedom that we really want to achieve. So yeah, I guess I'll end it there. Thanks again. Thanks for watching.